Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Udhav Tech. So guys, in the last video we created a post API and then afterwards we created a get API. So using the post API we added data to the Mongo DB, and using the get API we fetch all those records. Now let's say we have a requirement where we want to update some of the records in the database and not completely add a record. So what we can do for this particular requirement? So for these requirements we are having an HTTP method which is called put method, and we have to create a put API for this, and this API will take the data and will update the data into the database. So what is the difference between put and patch? We will be seeing how patch API we can create and it works in the next video. But what is the difference between them is that in put API we will be updating the whole data in the database, but while in patch we will be updating some parts of the data which is there in the database. So that is the main difference. So let's get started and create a put API. So let me open the Spring Tool suite, and this is the same product API class in which we created our add product API and get products API. So for creating a put API, we will add an annotation which is called put mapping, and inside its bracket we will be defining the URI. So it is going to be update product, and now we will be defining the method. So the method is going to be public, and then response entity, it will be similar, the logic will be similar to the add product API only. So we will again having a result, and the same logic we will follow. So this will be the output of our API, and the name will be update product. Okay, and the request body is again going to be same. So we will be getting the same request body in the input for update request as well. Okay, so that we have done. Now let us have the same string and HTTP method over here, and then we will be updating this particular product into the database. So what we will be doing is we will be doing the same operation. So the same operation we will be doing, that we will try to save this particular data into the database using the save method, and then if the result is successful, then we will say updated. Otherwise we will return failed, and let us return this particular response. Okay, so it is almost same to the add product API, but what is the difference in this API is that this product will already be stored in the database. So if it is already stored, then it will be again replaced with the new data. So we can add one check, like if it is a existing record or not. So let us have that check. For that we can add one check. So what we can do is that we will first call the repository. So let us take this product repository and let us call this. We will be doing product repository dot find all. Okay, and let us get this list. So it will be a list of products. Product list is equals to this, and then we will get a list of the IDs which are there in the database. So list of integer it is going to be. Okay, so one change I made in the entity class after the last get API we created, this in this particular products, I have added one annotation called @ID, and I have added this particular field called integer ID. So using this we will be having a unique record in the database. So for that I added this. So this is the change from the last video. And coming back to our API method, we will be having a list of integer which will be IDs, and this product list dot, so it is a list, so we have to iterate over that. So we will do for each inside this, and for each product so let this be a new array list, and when we are doing a for each loop over this particular list, what we will do, we will add those IDs into this particular list. So we will do IDs dot add this product dot get ID. Okay, so using this, what we are doing is that in this array list, we are adding the IDs which are already present in the database, and later on we will be having a check if this IDs dot contains this particular ID, products dot get ID. If it is contains that ID, that means it is a valid update request. Otherwise, it is a invalid request. So we will do else the result is data already present. Data means data is not there in the database, so we are saying data not found. Okay, these two things we can do. Okay, so let us save this and run our API, and let us create a put request as well. So we are having this these two requests, post and get. Let us duplicate this post API and create a put for it, and the endpoint is going to be this update product. We have to paste that over here, and in the body we are going to send the same list. So let's say the phone is now Samsung, and the product combination ID is 1. Let's see if it is there in the database or not. Yes, it is there, so this should be updated, and there should only be one product, and that should be Samsung. Okay, not these iPhone 10 and iPhone 9. Okay, so let us hit this API. We are having this API, and let us try to hit this. Okay, so we are getting 201 created and as the HTTP response code, and we are getting the messages updated. So this particular record got updated into the database. So let us check that in the database. So we move over to the database and refresh it. So this was the ID one which we passed in the request. If you can see over here, okay. So it is not a product combination ID. It is just an ID. Okay, so it is updated now. Okay guys, so let us check in the database if it got updated or not. So let us go to Mongo DB, and the ID was 1 which we gave into the request to update. And let's open this product list, and the first object should have the title as Samsung. So yes, it is updated. Earlier it was iPhone 9 I think. So now it is Samsung. So this API is working fine. So this is how we can create a put API. In the next video, we will be seeing how we can create a patch API and what is the main difference between a put and a patch API. Okay, that's it guys for this video. Till then, see you in the next video.